My name's Evren and I got into endurance sports around 2.5 years ago, which was sort of by accident. I was kind of overweight, smoking, drinking. My mental and physical health was just not the best. So I was looking for something to kind of like get me motivated, get me out of the rut. So I thought, let me try running. Everyone's running. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. So I tried it and couldn't run very far. I ran for like 3 minutes and I had to stop. So I was trying to find a race to kind of get me motivated, and I stumbled across this 100-mile race, which was like, I didn't even know people did that. So I signed up, I went there, ended up finishing the race, and ever since then I've been getting involved in endurance sports, but mainly running. So since then I've just been doing ultras, running ultras all the time. And in December, I stumbled across this race, which was the Ultraman Triathlon, which I'd never done triathlon before, but I thought, let me give it a try. This looks really, really difficult, really hard. Let's see what we can do. And yeah, that's how the sort of triathlon journey started. And met Alessio, and yeah, we went to the race.
He went to a bike shop to buy his bike because he didn't have a bike. And this guy from the bike shop called me, look at this guy, he needs a coach and a club because he has to do this. I say, okay, let me talk with this guy and I want to see him. So usually my first question is in triathlon in general, but especially here because you have to swim a very long distance. What's your swimming? And he said, I've never swum. I can't swim. I said, oh man, okay. So we started together, first of all, with a swimming session, swimming PT, because it was very important to check his technique and everything, and make him efficient because the 10K, so for him was more than 3 hours in the end, and he did quite well. It's very important to be efficient. So more than the speed, you have to, you have to endure and everything. But we had just, I think, 4 months. 3-4 months time.
I think we start. When did we get in contact? I think it was like February or March.
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 We started on March.
Yeah.
So March, April, May, June. 5 months.
Biggest supporter, I'd say, was my coach. Alessio he's a 10K specialist. He was on the Italian national team. So if there was one person in the whole of Dubai that could help me, that was him. It was like a perfect match.
So the race is the Ultraman, and this happens every year in Arizona, Canada, and also Florida. So when I heard about the race, it was in December, and at that time you had to be vaccinated to go to America. So I was like, okay, I can't go to Arizona, I can't go to Florida, let me go to Canada, and that was 6 months away. So I signed up to that, and the race is basically 10K swim, 420K bike, and double marathon to finish. So it's a long race, but it's over 3 days, so it's not like a typical triathlon. It's spread over 3 days, like a stage race. So yeah, that's what it is. And then they have the World Championships in Hawaii in November, which I'm invited to, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if I'm ready for that.
Not this year, for sure.
Not this year, next year. Next year, maybe we're going to go to that. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. He did well because he improved quickly. So the first month was just to adjust, to understand also my philosophy and the technique, the drills, everything. But once he spent more time, more hours in the water, he improved quickly. So I think 3 or 4 weeks ahead of the race, he did 7 or 8K straight just to swim longer and understand the feeling. But we had many issues because he also had tendonitis in the Achilles. So for a long time he couldn't run at all. So he did a lot of physio, very short and easy run. So we tried to build up the volume on the bike, which is also for me, in the end of the day, the most important part and even the smartest thing that we could do, because the 70% of the race was on the bike. So we built up a lot of mileage on the bike, on the saddle. Then we both traveled, me to Europe for other coaching commitments, and he went to holiday.
Yeah. I was in
But he
Turkey.
was very good because he could manage very well the training on holiday. So with the bike, a new place, he didn't have a swimming pool, but he did well. So
Yeah, man. It was tough, the training. But yeah, it's just finding a way to get it in. Because up until this point, like up until before, the most the training I'd do was like I'd get up to, if I was running, like 100-mile weeks, 110-mile weeks. And that's like, how many hours? 15, 16 to 18 hours. So that was like the peak for me. But then we was getting up to like, some weeks were 20 hours. I think we got up to like 23, 24 hours.
yes,
So that was like a new boundary for me, because I was like, I thought I was at my peak at 18, but we just done 24-hour week. So it was like, it was a lot.
yeah.
So,
And also about the running volume. I remember the first
Yeah,
chat we had. You asked me, do you think 150, 160k per week it's a lot? I say, wow, it's a lot. Yes, of course. Now I can understand why you are injured.
that's why I've got tendonitis. But to be honest, I think the tendonitis in the beginning was like a bit of a blessing in disguise, because I had no experience on the bike. My swim was
Yes.
terrible. So at least there was no running. I was just literally focusing on my weak points, which was the swimming and the bike.
True, absolutely.
So then we had more time to get miles in and like practice the swim technique. So
Yes.
yeah, we turned it into a positive, really.
In
at
the end, paid off. So.
So make sure you check in. Let's make this as come and get one of the phone list from Sheik.
It's just another thing I got to deal with. I woke up this morning.
And then
Actually, since
athletes,
yesterday.
we're asking you to bear over to the left where
Since yesterday,
Borgie
I
is
had like
located.
Which way they have to.
Pain in my throat.
That's where we're going to get the photo of the athletes, please.
I mean, just trying to change the positive into the negative into the positive, because, yeah, I just, whenever something happens like that, I have like a period of like feeling sorry for myself and feeling like, oh, why is this happening to me? Why this? Why that? But then afterwards, I'm like, come on, time to get it going. Let's pick the pieces up. Let's get it cracking. So we just tried to turn a negative into a positive and say, right, I can't run. Let's focus on the swim. Let's focus on the cycling, and let's get after it. But even in the race, like after I got healed in the training, I think I started running in like March or April. I was able to run again. Was it March, April, something like that? So the first couple of months I couldn't run. Then I was able to run.
Later.
I think later, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe it was later.
June
I think
and
June.
July.
June and July I was able to run. So I was building up slowly. We didn't do too much running, but it was just constantly building up.
Yes.
And then I had no injuries, no problem. I thought, yeah, I'm back. And then day 3 of the triathlon, I'm like, yeah, it's giving me no problems. I'm happy. And I'm starting to warm up, and I'm like doing all the business, regular warm up. And then I can just feel it starting to come. I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be a long day today, man. So yeah, we had to kind of get through that as well. But then again, I just tried to change it into a positive and say, right, got the tendonitis, but at least when I'm finished, it's going to make it that much more, that much more exciting, that much more motivating that we done it, even though we had the tendonitis problem. So yeah, we was just trying to. I kept on asking him and the rest of the crew, like, how long has it been since the last painkillers? Can I take more? Can I take more? I was just trying to numb it and do anything I could. But yeah, it was tough, but we got through
You should take it every 6 hours.
Yeah.
I think you took
we got
every
some more.
3 or 4.
I took too
fine.
many. I
You're
took
still
too many,
alive.
that's for sure. Wow. Yeah. I think as soon as he saw me swim, I think he was thinking that. I think he was thinking that the whole way through, because I can't remember what period it was, but you said to me, she was like, listen, can you postpone this to next year?
It was
Yeah.
2 months before the.
Yeah,
the
2 months before, yeah.
I couldn't believe that we could fix the swim in just 7, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Or at least be able to swim that distance with not big issue, and then be able to ride that distance with no issues.
Yeah.
And then the day 2 and then the day
man.
3. So yeah, I tried to ask him, can we postpone the registration to next year? He said, no way, we need to do it now. Okay, let's do it.
And it was like...
And he was right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because my swimming was like because I started from being really bad and really slow, there was like room for improvement there, obviously. So as soon as you taught me like the right technique, and the right kind of strategy and stuff like that,
Yes.
it was, it got better quickly.
Yeah, because the learning curve is you improve very quickly in the beginning, then probably you get stuck, and then the next improvement will take time and very slow. But in his case, he improved quite linear all the time, all the 3-4 months.
Yeah.
And then my other concern was the distance, because I know what swimming 10K means. So okay, so maybe 5, 6, 7K you can
you can get away with
you
that.
can manage.
Yeah.
But the last 3 or 4, I don't know. So yeah, we didn't have time even to build, through the weeks, that volume. So that was my concern. But
Yeah, we got through
easy
it.
stuff.
We got through it, man.
Easy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big challenge for me as well, because it was like a bet. He has nothing to lose, but from 0 to Ultraman. Of course, he didn't have any, winning or specific. We had a couple of goals, but nothing crazy. So the problem was just to finish. It's a big problem on that race, but if your fitness level is good and you are committed and your head is very strong, I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But of course, for me, I felt a lot of pressure during the 3 days, because I had to manage everything, because I didn't want that he thought on something else except racing.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about the pacing, the nutrition strategy, the recovery meal after the race.
There was a lot to think about.
The ice bath,
Yeah.
the stretching.
So it was already difficult. I mean, just to get there was like an event in itself, because it was not easy to get to from Dubai. You was traveling from Dubai.
Me, Dubai, yes.
I was traveling from Turkey. So we had to transfer like 3 or 4 times. And it took a long time to actually get there.
Yeah, we met in Paris.
And we met in Paris, and then we went from Paris to Canada, Vancouver, and then from Vancouver we went to British Columbia. But just getting there took a long time. And he was telling me leading up to the race, he was like, listen, before you travel, make sure you take all your vitamins, make sure you stay healthy, because we don't want you to get ill. And I said, come on, man, who do you know you're dealing with? I never, ever get ill. I didn't get COVID. Everyone in my family got COVID. I never, ever get ill. Don't worry about me. We get there, day 1, and I'm ill. Wake up in the morning, sore throat, I can't speak properly. And I'm trying to hide it, because I don't want that he gets worried or anything. I'm talking to
we slept together, so I knew.
And I'm talking to my wife. I'm trying to not let anyone know. But anyway, we get there, I'm ill. And then, it was just another thing. I was like, okay, the odds are already against me. This is just another thing stacked on. Let's do it. I'm going to face it head on. So that didn't help, but it was just another thing to deal with. And then we got there. We was just kind of like getting our bearings about us, making sure the equipment is all there and things like that. And then there was a pre-race meeting where they took us through like all the athletes, and they took us through like the rules, the crewing, what you can do, what you can't do, what they expect. There was a couple of detours as well, which they kind of took us through, like to go left here, go right there. What else did they talk about? It was just a general thing, because it's a big organization, and a lot to think about. So we got there, we had that to attend to, and then it was just like, we had to make sure my nutrition was good, because there was things that I could eat and couldn't eat. You remember, like, don't eat.
Yes.
What couldn't I eat? There was like, what was you telling me not to eat? I had to get the carbs in, I had to get the
fibers.
Yeah, don't eat the fibers,
fruits,
that's it, yeah.
Red meat.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes, and then we had an issue with, I want to tell about the driver.
Oh, the driver, oh yeah. So obviously me and Alessio went there together, and we found Brooke, who helped us as well. Brooke's a triathlete and she's from there, but we didn't have a driver. So I had arranged for a company to get us a driver. So we get there, and I'm speaking to supposed to be our driver, and this guy can't speak a word of English. And I'm thinking, oh my God, here we go. And the race starts tomorrow. Was it tomorrow or the day before?
No, the first one said that was not available.
Yeah, he's not available.
So,
that was the first one.
Out.
Okay, get him out. And
Number
then
two.
I spoke to the guy, the agent or whoever, the company. I said, listen, this guy can't speak English. I've been telling you for weeks. I've got this race tomorrow. We've been preparing for months. I need this driver because I didn't want like Alessio and the crew to be thinking about anything else. Like I wanted the driver to be taken care of and they're doing the plan.
Yeah.
So he said, don't worry. Sorry, I'm getting this new guy. Anyway, the new guy's even worse. He's on the phone and he was in the toilet, I think,
He
or
was
something.
in the toilet, actually, yeah.
Yeah, he was in the toilet. Supposed to be an interview. And then, yeah, we hear a chain flush, the toilet flush, and we're like, oh my God, here we go. What's going to happen? And then in the end,
And then
luckily...
He never called back.
Yeah, he was supposed to call us back.
Disappeared.
Never called us back. So then we're thinking, right, we ain't got a driver for tomorrow. And he's thinking, oh, can I drive? This, that, and the other. So already the plans, you know.
Yes, we had a car, so
Yeah, we had a car, so
we need a driver.
we need a driver. So in the end, they got a new person, a guy called Anmo. And yeah, he was like good English. And he just turned out to be a blessing in disguise because he was like, not only was he resourceful and he was like helping out, he was like totally invested. He was like one of the guys.
Yeah.
He was like making everyone laugh, making everyone smile, helping
Yes.
out with everything.
Yeah, it was quick.
He was quick, responsive, so
Yeah.
we got that sorted as well. In the
Yeah,
end.
suddenly this guy called Evren. We were in the grocery on the supermarket. I was walking around
Getting
there.
the stuff.
And he was on the phone. We have the guy. Okay, nice. This is the good one.
Yeah, so
So-
other than the race, there was
Yeah.
like all those things to think about.
The fourth attempt, we found
we found the driver in
the
the
good
end.
driver.
Yeah. Everyone, like, not many people just go into this. Like, they kind of build up. So they start with sprints and then they go into half Ironmans, and then eventually they start to do the long stuff.
Yeah.
So they're going for everyone. This person's done 15 Ironmans and this person's done 10 Ironmans, this much experience, that much experience. And then he gets to me and he's like, oh, this is Evren's first triathlon. And
Never done.
never done a triathlon before.
And everybody laughs.
And everyone's like, yeah, there's a mixture of like shock and there's a mixture of
Yeah,
laughter.
a gasp.
Gasping and laughter. So they're either thinking, definitely this guy is not going to finish, what is he doing here? Or maybe he's going to barely
Yeah.
finish if he's lucky.
Yeah, we have two ways, you know. Or he's
Yeah.
stupid, or
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a phenomenal. And
yeah.
okay.
Exactly. So yeah, it was just funny in the beginning to hear that. But it just goes to show you, like, a lot of the people who was a lot more prepared than me, a lot more experienced than me, some of them didn't finish. So it just goes to show you, if you're committed and you just try really hard and have a good team, have a good strategy, then yes, it's possible.
But if I can add something, despite the experience that they had, we noticed a problem in pacing. You remember, every stage they started. He was the last.
Yeah.
Because everybody started
Way too fast,
very
yeah.
fast, and
Yeah, man.
but I was very listen, not aggressive, but I want to make sure that he started slow because the day was long.
Yeah,
and,
long day.
But after the first stop, so after 30-40 minutes, when I saw him in the final positions, I said, oh man.
Yeah.
But then everybody faded, and I still don't.
Especially on day
understand
two.
this.
Like on day two, I remember, because day two is the longest,
Yeah.
one of the longest days because it's 280k bike ride. So people were just like going for it. Like they was like really got
First
like
10K sprinting.
Yeah, the first climbs they were like standing up, like proper going for it, and I was like, oh well, yeah, just let them go. Stick to your place. Stick to the plan. Don't go out too fast. And then yeah, eventually I just started, picking people off and going past everyone. But yeah, I ended day 4. I ended day 2 in 4th position, and I think I started in like, after everyone passed me, I was like maybe last or like next to last.
More than 10th, 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the longer the race is, the more strategy comes into it and the more pacing comes into it.
Yes.
So-
And you did very well because I think the best thing you did was to be stuck to the plan,
Yeah.
regardless what's happening around you, and then the strategy in the end of the 3 days paid off because
Yeah.
then you have to be lucky, of course, because the mechanical, everything can happen in 10 hours, 10, 11 hours.
Yeah.
That's another story.
Was the goal. The goal was, so whenever I go into something like this, the goal is number 1 to finish, and number 2, when I'm finished, empty the tank. Like, I want to be dead by the time I cross that finish line. So those are the 2 goals. Time-wise, we wanted to be under 30 hours if possible. So that was like the main goal that we had, and we thought that was like a challenging and a realistic goal for me.
Yeah, because I remember we checked the results of last year,
Yeah.
and we saw 30 hours was a
Yeah.
quite good time, because
Yeah.
we had no idea about everything. Even the course, because if the course is tough, it's not easy to go very fast. So we had at least an idea about the time. We say, okay, maybe 30 hours, sub 30 hours is
Yeah.
doable, manageable.
So that was like a challenging and realistic goal. And yeah, so we started off on day 1. It was the swim. The swim, to be honest, was the part I was most not looking forward to, because it was the one I had least experience in. I've never swam that far. That was like the one that I was quite nervous about. So leading up to the race, in the car I was trying to like keep everyone's spirits high and not let anyone know that I'm nervous. But then once it started getting close, I was like trying to like kind of lock in and just because I don't have much talent or ability. So to complete something like this, I need to go sometimes a little bit dark in my mind. So
And for the swimming, every swimmer needs a paddler with a kayak. So there is no course, no buoys around the course, nothing. But you have just to cross the lake from one place, I don't remember the name, to Pentington.
yeah,
So the organizers say, okay, you have to arrive there, 10k far.
yeah,
And I remember I came to you and I said, follow me. I will let you swim less than 10k. And you did 9.9.
yeah.
So even there, the ability of the paddler and the ability of the swimmer to follow the kayaker is very important. And yes, we had, and in every stage we had a sub-timing goal, if it's correct, sub-timing goal.
Yeah.
And for the swim, we plan to start the bike, so swim plus T1 transition, in 4 hours. So within 4 hours, he's supposed to start the bike. So he finished the swim in 3 hours 28 minutes. And I remember less than 3 hours and 40 was able to start the ride. So quite ahead of the plan. He started very, very fast, very strong. The first 5K, I kept telling him, slow down, from the kayak. But no, I feel good.
Yeah, man.
Keep going. I said,
should've.
okay, I don't want to break your momentum.
Yeah, I should have slowed down, or maybe because I remember I didn't drink much or I didn't eat much in the swim, so maybe I should have done that a little bit more. But I just got into a rhythm in my mind, and I just didn't want to stop, which that hurt me later on. I wish I would have taken the first half a little bit slower, and eaten a little bit more, drunk a little bit more. Because by the time I got off the bike, got out of the water, I was like, I was quite depleted. But then I was just thinking, right, don't worry, just get changed and get on the bike. So, yeah.
So we had a nutrition plan and a transition.
Yeah.
So he started to eat something solid, because in the water is not possible. So he took just a couple of gels and what did you have? The carbohydrate?
Yeah, the carbohydrate drink
yes.
as well, yeah.
But of course, for 3 hours and a half is not a lot of calories intake. So yeah, he started the bike, but I think the day 1 was quite tough.
Day 1 was tough because depleted, got on the bike, and then there was a lot of climbing on that course, like especially day 1. There was a lot of elevation because I think day 1 and day 2 had the same amount of elevation, but obviously day 1 is a lot of shorter bike ride, 145 kilometers. So a lot of climbing, especially after being off the swim. I was just trying to not get depleted and just take it 1 kilometer at a time, just trying to stay in the moment kind of thing. And then towards the end, I just saw you guys. I think this was around 100K into the race. I'd just seen you guys. And then I was going to meet them up the road. And I fell off the bike as I was climbing up. So I like hit my ankle and then bashed my elbow quite badly. And then luckily there was people passing me. So I said, can you go back and tell them that I fell off the bike? Because I was going to just jump back on the bike and not tell anyone. But when I got up, I was like dizzy and stuff like that. So I thought, no, I need them at the minute. So I went back. No, I didn't go back. I told them to go back, and they told you. And
and actually, I had a bump on the elbow, and I was worried because I thought fracture.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
But then we touched, and the bump was soft. I say, okay, it's just fluid.
Yeah.
It's not the bone. Carry on.
Yeah. Which after that was okay, but then on the second day it quite bothered me because I was obviously on the bars all day. It was like really hurting. But by the time day one finished, because I was like putting pressure on it on the bars, it had like gone down.
Yes.
So it was still like red, but no bump anymore, which was good.
True.
So we finished day one. We got through the bike ride, and can't remember the time, but it was like it was 10, maybe 10.
Around 10 hours.
Around 10 hours. So we'd finished,
that.
and I think we was kind of on track. Or was a little bit off track because we was aiming 10 hours per day, wasn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. So to be honest, once I finished day one, I was a little bit worried because I was thinking, if I carry on at this if I maintain this pace for tomorrow, that's not going to be fast enough. But luckily, there was more climbing in day one than there was day two.
Yeah, also because every day, day one, day two, and then of course day three, you have 12 hours cut-off time.
Yeah.
So, you have some issues here and there, you can lose 1 hour easily. From 11 hours to 12 and a half, you are out.
Yeah.
So, me too, because I saw you in the end of the day one very, tired, and I didn't tell you, but I thought, okay, tomorrow is the last day.
Going home early.
But no, I think we did a very good. We had a very good strategy about the recovery plan. Okay, in terms of meals and ice bath, everything we did, and you were able. Also, your capacity to recover very well.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of the day two, you were fresh.
I was alright.
Yeah.
Because what we done, so immediately after I got off the bike, we had a recovery shake, got in the car, and then what did we eat that night? I think we ate pizza. Did we eat pizza that night? So we had pizza, just trying to get everything back in the system and get ready for tomorrow. I think we done some foam roller, done an ice bath, and just got ready for the next day. So after that, we was ready to go. Tried to get as much sleep as possible, but I didn't sleep that well. Neither did you, I don't think.
No, it's because we changed bed in the end of the day too, and we slept somewhere else. And
exactly.
Yeah, also changing place every day is not the best because your routine changes. And you cannot rest. But I think in terms of nutrition and ice bath, stretching, recovery protocol. So I think the key point of your performance was the recovery protocol, because at the moment you finish the ride, in this case, your recovery shake was ready.
Yeah.
So
straight away,
as soon as possible you drank.
Yeah.
And then I think you ate rice.
I ate rice when we got back to the Airbnb, and then in the car I was like having sandwiches and stuff like that. I was just trying to get as much as I could, really, just so I was ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, because the first 30 minutes are very important for the recovery, because to improve your recovery time, you have to do something straight after the effort, the activity. So once we reached the apartment, we were able to manage a bathtub with the ice. So I think you were used to that, so it works quite well.
Went straight into the
quite
ice.
well. And what else? Dinner. So we ate pizza
Yeah, that was nice.
During the night. And then about the sleep, it didn't sleep well, and I think enough hours, because managing different places, different beds is not the best thing always.
Yeah.
And also we finished the race quite late, like 5-6 p.m. So also the adrenaline in the bloodstream and everything, your hormonal responses was still quite excited.
Yeah, man. I was
the body
excited
was
to
still
get off the
excited,
bike
so go to bed early was not easy.
Yeah, but just trying to get as much food as we could in. Got the food in. Yeah, because we had to get ready, because the following day we would start the bike and then we would end up in Princeton, and we would sleep in Princeton the next day. So we had to make sure we had everything with us so that we could obviously stay in Princeton and then get ready for the third day. But just trying as much time to stretch and do foam roller and stuff like that, so we was ready for day 2. And then day 2 I didn't feel that bad when I woke up. I was like up, ready to go.
Yes.
I think I had oatmeal for breakfast that morning, and just anything I could in the morning. I wasn't that hungry, but I just tried to at least have something. And then we got ready for day 2. So I think we started day 3. I was in 4th, I think, by this time we started day 3, because our pacing strategy on day 2 was really good, because I went out slower than I should have, very conservative, and then picked up speed towards the end, which was good. And I think I finished in 4th place by, I think the difference was around 54 minutes, something like that, between me and the third guy.
Yes.
So I couldn't have caught the second guy, because he had a really good time. And the first guy, a guy called Simon, he was just on another level. He was just like, no one was catching him. So I thought I could maybe get to third if I had a good day. So that was the mindset going into day 3. It was like, right, if I can run really well, then we can maybe close on third.
Yeah, the goal in terms of position was, I think, top 5. We can say top 5.
I think going into it was like even top 10 I would have been happy with.
Yeah, but top 10 with that time.
But after day 2 it was like, okay,
But you finished the day 2 in 19 hours 17 minutes.
Yeah.
So the problem was just the time, if you wanted to go sub 30 hours. So I remember we were on the bed in the end of the day 2. We had a space strategy.
Yeah.
So we did some math. And I remember that the pace he needed to run to stay sub 30 hours was like 7:07, 7:08, for 84.4K. And when he told me, no way I can run that fast tomorrow, I said, like a cold shower. And I said, okay, let's finish the game, finish 4th, 5th, I don't care, but let's finish.
Just finish,
Let's get the job done.
Yeah.
And then despite the 4 or 5 hours sleeping, he was able to run much faster than the pace, the strategy.
Yeah, I was surprised as well, because I went out at like a 7-minute pace according to plan.
Yeah.
And I made sure to wear my heart rate monitor, because I didn't want to spike my heart rate too early.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at my heart rate, 120, 125. I'm like, okay, this is nice. I can go a little bit faster. And it was cool. In the temperature wasn't very, very high in the morning.
Yeah, it was perfect.
So then I started increasing the pace a little bit, 6:30, 6:15, and the heart rate was still low.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm just going to hold this as long as possible.
Yeah. I try to don't be too much optimistic, because I know in running everything can change.
Yeah.
K after K.
Yeah.
So maybe he told me, no, I feel good, I feel comfortable, but was like 50K to go. It's too early. Okay, let's see. And I was waiting your blow up. And it didn't come. You never came.
Yeah, man.
And and he ran, I think, very, very fast, because 6:07, 6:08 pace, average pace, 8 hours and 40 minutes. I think he did some math, and probably he knew that he could go out of the cutoff time.
Oh, okay. So that's why he stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah.
probably you finished the race anyway.
Yeah.
Then
Definitely.
of course you were out of the results, but you finished the race.
Yeah, so-
I'm sure. But
So there was a guy who stopped with, so it's double marathon. He stopped at the marathon mark. So he had a marathon left and he threw in the towel. And then when they told me that, I was like, oh, how could you stop? Like, you've only got a marathon left. And yeah, it was funny because taken out of content, only a marathon, that sounds a bit funny.
I was laughing. Come on, a marathon. It's not like, okay, 4K, 5K.
Yeah, but when you take into consideration the race, like, you've been there for 3 days.
Yeah, this is true.
You've traveled to get here. You've paid a lot to be here. Your whole thing is invested. You've swam 10K. You've done 420 on the bike.
You ran a marathon.
You've ran a marathon. You got one. You just at the last hurdle. I would have crawled if I had to finish.
Yeah.
I would have definitely finished somehow.
But also because I think everything is relative in terms of
yeah.
distance, and for you a marathon is nothing. Maybe for someone else a marathon is something. I personally never ran a marathon. And for me, it's something. No, for me it's something.
Yeah.
Too long. That's why I was.
It's only a marathon.
Yeah, it's just a marathon, man.
Yeah, he could have finished, man, I think. As we said, on day 3, I wanted to negative split the course. I wanted to do the first marathon, conservative pace, and then get faster towards the end. So that's basically what we did. I think I finished my average pace for the first marathon, I think was like 6:15, 6:20, and then I went a little bit faster towards the end. So, and then,
sixes.
yeah, and around 6s. So, yeah, towards the end, there was a little bit downhill. So I was just like going as fast as I can, just trying to empty the tank really. So yeah, I think we done the second marathon a little bit faster, and yeah, I think the strategy worked out. We was just
I finished 27 hours and 56 minutes.
Yeah,
58, 56.
Yeah,
So more than 2 hours below the goal, our goal. Yeah, 4th place overall.
yeah,
I was speechless, and I'm still speechless because you really did something amazing.
yeah. No, like I said, it was just I didn't really going in. I thought it would be nice to finish in the top 10, but my main goal was to number 1 finish and number 2 just be depleted, and I was definitely depleted. Like once I'd finished day 3 and once I finished the double marathon, I could really look back on the course and say, no, I couldn't have gone any faster. Like that was the best I could do. That was like I've emptied the tank. I can't even walk to the car. So after I finished, I had to just sit down for a while and just like close my eyes and kind of, think about everything.
We have been also lucky because after your crash on the bike, it's just a minor injury.
Exactly.
Injury. Nothing serious. Also, when you had the problem with the bottle cage, we have been able to fix very quickly. Also, the tire when the tire came out.
Yeah.
So we had few issues. Then something is about be lucky that you cannot fix.
Yeah.
And something else you can predict. So you can, because I remember the bottle cage the night before was already
wobbly,
moving. Yes. So in my head I had probably during the race with the bumps and everything with the speed will fell off. And something else you have to be quick and fast to adjust and fix as fast as possible and in the best way as possible.
Yeah.
I think in terms of physical strategy, planning, everything, we couldn't have done any better.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we did the best as possible.
In something like this, you just have to concentrate on the controllables.
Yes.
Like anything that we could control, which was obviously training, pace strategy, nutrition, we controlled it the best we could. Anything like the other things you were saying, like, is there going to be a problem with the bike? Is there going to be this? Is the weather going to be too hot?
The competitors. If you had
You
10
just can't
more
really
champions, of course, you
Yeah.
finished
Yeah,
best case scenario 11th.
exactly. So you just have to control what you can and
Yeah, true.
leave the rest to what it is. But
True.
yeah, we done a good job because we done faster than what we planned, and yeah, 4th place, 27 hours 58 minutes. It was good, man. And yeah, after the race, what did we do after? Went and got some food, chilled
Sushi,
out.
maybe?
Sushi, I think, yeah. And then pizza. No, we got pizza. To
Pizza
that
again?
Italian place, yeah.
Oh my god.
But the real pizza, the one from the nice Italian.
From Napoli, yeah.
yeah. So we went there, got the pizza, and then the day after was the award banquet dinner, which
Yes.
we had a dinner with everyone, which was quite nice.
Yeah, quite nice because every athlete had like 3-4 minutes on the stage to talk and share experience and the thoughts.
Yeah.
And yeah, what else?
That was
And
it.
then we
had the
traveled.
dinner.
We didn't have time to do anything.
Yeah,
because we traveled the day after.
Yeah.
So.
But it was nice to have the banquet dinner afterwards, because usually when I do something like this, I'm just like, I finish and then I'm gone. So sometimes I don't even take my medal, I just go. But this time was nice because it was like everyone was involved. We had the dinner, we reflected, we had a speech and stuff like that. So it was just time to
You have to enjoy every second
everything,
of the
yeah.
experience, yes.
Yeah, so it was good. I think the main thing I'd say to people is just don't put any limitations on yourself, because going into this, I had no experience, didn't know what I was doing. So, like I was saying about the training, like the most I'd trained running up until then was maybe 18 hours a week. But in this training block, we got up to 24 hours a week. So it was just unlocking a whole new level. So I think the limitations that we put on ourselves are definitely self-imposed. And yeah, you can do it. I mean, I think the main thing is just to sign up. If you sign up and you commit and you just tell people, I'd say do that. If you've got a goal or you want to commit or go to the next level, just sign up for something and then tell 10 people, and then that's it, you're invested. And then you have to, do what it takes to get through it. Because when I signed up, I didn't even own a bike, knew nothing about swimming, didn't know you guys, had never met Alessio. It was just like, right, step at a time. Right, what do I need to do? I need to get a bike. Got the bike, need a coach. Got the coach, learn how to swim. And then everything kind of just falls into place afterwards. So that's the main thing. Commit, say you're going to do it, and then don't worry about how you're going to get there. You'll get there. So I guess that's what I'd say to people is just, commit and let it unravel, let it unfold.
You just finished it sub 10 hours.
Luke Street, and now Evren Oscar, the 31-year-old who represents the UK. Look at that, the English flag.
What's next? Okay, so I've got two things. So I've got a 24-hour race at the end of this month, which is on the 30th of September, which is in London. Yeah, so that's running. And it's going to be, I'm running around a 400-meter track for 24 hours.
Oh my
so
God.
that's going to be interesting. Mentally, obviously, and physically.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mentally
just-
more than physically.
Yeah, just running around the track. I've never done that before, so that's going to be a new experience, which I'm excited for. And that is to get ready for a world record attempt in November. So I'm going to run around all the 7 Emirates. There's a time which I'm trying to beat, which is a world record. It's just under 7 days. So yeah, I'm trying to break that in November. So hopefully we'll get that. I need to work a little bit more on my biomechanics and just pacing, efficiencies, things like that. So I'm just running now, so getting ready.
No swim.
Swimming maybe for recovery, but no swimming for now. I'm so happy that I'm done with swimming, man. I'm so happy. It was good, man. It was a journey.
Yeah.